I had these songs written, literally the songs that I had written for Kenny Chesney that he hadn't recorded. Lo and behold, there's a whole group of people who want to hear these type of songs that I didn't even know existed.
When I first moved to Nashville, I felt like the advice people would give me is, you have to write, you have to write, you have to write. But I feel like nowadays, it's like, you have to write, you have to write, you have to write, but also you have to have 3 or 4 other income streams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's kind of what you do too, isn't it?
That's right. I'm kind of the reluctant artist, I like to say. I didn't really want to do that. Like, I moved here thinking I wanted to do that. Like, be the artist, be Garth Brooks. And I remember a guy telling me, we already have Garth Brooks. You need to be whoever you are. But I started doing the studio stuff and the writing, and I was like, that was more my vibe rather than getting on the stage. Well, fast forward however many years, a decade plus, I had these songs written, literally the songs that I had written for Kenny Chesney that he hadn't recorded. I meet this guy, John Frenzy, down at Songwriters Fest, at BMI Songwriters Fest in Key West. Lo and behold, there's a whole group of people who want to hear these type of songs that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
And I start playing them. Then Radio Margaritaville starts playing them. And then people start asking when I'm coming to their town to play. And I'm like, never. And they're like, well, maybe you should. So it just kind of took off, and multiple income streams. That's it. Like, now I'm an artist, and I go around the country and sell stuff, and people buy CDs, even if they don't have CD players, just to have, something tangible.
Well, and you're an award-winning artist too. Now you've won a few TRMA awards. You've won Album of the Year.
Yeah, I think I've won 8 or 9.
8, really?
I have to count again.
Well, it's because your albums are incredible.
Oh, thank you.
My favorite song, I think, of all of them is the song Kenny Didn't, which is about Kenny Chesney, obviously.
Not recording my songs.
Yeah, right. And that's on an award-winning album. So there you go.
A cup of coffee and a sunrise in a place I've never been. Trying to burn it into my mind like I'll never be back again. It was a hell of a show, can't believe those folks drove in from out of state to listen to my stories, sing along to the songs I play. I got a 5-hour drive, then I get to do it all again tonight. Yeah, I got coast to coast drinking friends, 1,000 places to lay my head. Good times that I won't forget, and some I can't recall. It's an out of nowhere crazy ride, but I wouldn't change a minute of this rolling along, singing all my songs. Kenny didn't. Spent over half my life writing songs for someone else. I never dreamed that I'd be singing them all myself. Now this interstate feels a world away from the streets of Music Row. I still don't know where it's headed. About the only thing I know is I got coast to coast drinking friends, 1,000 places to lay my head. Good times that I won't forget, and some I can't recall. It's an out of nowhere crazy ride, but I wouldn't change a minute of this rolling along, singing all my songs. Kenny didn't. I still might get that Chesney plaque up on my wall, but even if I never do, at least I'll still have all my coast to coast drinking friends, 1,000 places to lay my head. Good times that I won't forget, and some I'll never recall. It's an out of nowhere crazy ride, thank God I get to live it. just rolling along, singing all my songs. Kenny didn't. The Kenny didn't yet. Just not yet.
But I love what you captured in that song because you captured what we do. I do a lot of the same kind of shows as Aaron does. We travel around the country and we do house concerts and festivals and things like that. And this fan group of the folks, the Jimmy Buffett fans, the Parrot Heads, the people that like trop rock music, the people that like beach country. I mean, tell me what those folks have been like for your life.
They're great. They're my friends now. You know, some of them have become like family. A lot of them are friends. All of them are friends. Some have become more like family. Like I've crashed on their couches at random. I'll call them up at random times, be like, "Hey, I'm passing through. I need a place to stay." Shout out to Van Horn, Texas. And
oh yeah,
yeah. And they Steve and Gayla out there.
Yeah,
the Mitchells. Yeah.
They moved to Odessa now.
Oh, did they?
So
okay.
In case your camper breaks down in Van Horn, you're screwed.
I hadn't talked to them in a while. So, but you know, it's cool. But yeah, I mean, I call my fans literally the coast to coast drinking friends. That's my, because that's a line from
pretty
the song
accurate.
in Kenny Chesney. Yeah, and then Kenny didn't. You know, yeah, boy, they can put it away, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there with them. But it's, you know, it's a party, and they're just great people, and it's always fun to play shows for them because you know that when you show up, they're there to just have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's like all you have to do is just keep them from not having a bad time. You know, it's just like have a good time yourself, and they'll have a good time. And they're so supportive. Like I said, they just buy stuff.
Yeah.
Every show. You got anything new? Got anything new? No, don't. Oh. You know, they want the new stuff. You know, and they'll buy whatever. And it's great. They help keep us on the road, which is really cool with their support for the house concerts. You know, they pay to get in and they pay to buy merch, and then you hang out afterwards, and then you all, you know, drink together and
and if you're nearby,
stories.
if you have shows nearby 3 days in a row, they'll come to all 3 shows.
That's right. Yep.
It's amazing. How do you feel like that compares with living and working in Nashville and doing the Nashville music biz?
Oof. It's night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally is. It's like I don't play in this town.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's the Bluebird Cafe or the Listening Room. Sometimes I just don't play here because I mean, the local. I'll play Terry Joe's thing at the local. It's not the same vibe.
Yeah.
You know, they're constant. You're doing your songs. You know, it's just not the same vibe at all.
It's pretty special. It's pretty special doing
the Parrot
these.
Head things is a special thing. Playing in Nashville is a lot of people looking at you going, I would have said it this way. You know?
So it's freedom. It's freedom to
that's
express
a good word.
yourself as an artist and
Because
do it your own way.
That's a good word because like the one that kind of got it going for me was a song called, well, Summer Sun first with John Frenzy. But for me as a singer, it was Waves, that song. And I was kind of just mad at this town. I was like, this is too good of a song to just sit on a hard drive and never be heard.
Yeah.
So I sung it and got Doyle Grisham to play on it, sent it to Radio Margaritaville, and then they started playing it. It's like, I was like, wow, you can do this? Like, and this community will support that? So it really is freeing, because I never would have made any more records if the Parrot Head community wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like Ocean Road wouldn't have even been a thing. I never would have hit the road every summer for the last 6 years if they weren't there.
Yeah.
You know? So Nashville is the word myopic? Like it's very, you know, it's just like tunnel vision. It's like you're going for the radio. That's it.
Right.
You know, it's got to get to the radio. You know, and as a songwriter, that's a pretty daunting task. But when you can write a song like Kenny didn't and have people go, yeah, we're coast to coast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah, you're writing about your life.
That's right. And they sing it.
Yeah.
Coast to coast, everywhere I go, from Maine to San Diego, from Whidbey Island down to Key West. It's just literally, it's wild.
So this year, you're coming back to Lone Star Luau once again.
That's right.
How would you describe the Lone Star Luau to somebody who's never been to it before?
Oh, wow. It's a little bit Texas. It's a little bit beach country. And that's it. It's just great music and a community of friends that loves to hang out together. And was it 3 days? Is it 4 days?
4 days.
4 days
Yeah.
of just music. And it's just a great hang. I enjoy playing it.
And that's your old stomping grounds,
It is
right?
literally in my hometown. I grew up in Spring, Texas, and that's Conroe, which is just the next town up, and then my wife's family lives the next few exits up from there, on right by the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason we keep booking Aaron Scherz is because he does not require a hotel room.
I knew that was the reason. I knew that was why. Yeah.
I think the only other thing I wanted to talk about was our song "Ghosts of New Orleans."
Right.
We wrote that song back at your place at the Spence Manor in 2003. But we've written a lot of great songs. Tracy Lawrence, The Rock, and then
Ghosts of New Orleans.
Ghosts of New Orleans is one of those. It's been recorded about 4 times by different artists, but it's never been a big hit for anybody as of yet, but I feel like it's going to be.
Right.
And you just re-recorded it for your new project.
I did.
So what is your plans with the new record?
You know, I needed to make the record just to make it. It's like I had these songs and I just needed something new to do. I was like, I got to get these songs out, you know, so I just had to make it. Like I couldn't not make it, and I don't have any plans for it. That's one of the beautiful things about, you know, you call it trop rock. I don't rock really. I call it trop country.
Yeah,
and
I call it beach
country.
Yeah,
right. So, but it had been 4 years since my last one, and I had these songs starting to work, and then Florida Man worked really well. I was like, all right, we're gonna make a record. So I was like, okay, Ghosts of New Orleans. I was like, I gotta do that song because I always wanted to do it, but it never quite made it. But I wanted to do it totally different, you know.
Yeah, you did change it up a lot.
Yeah,
which I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's definitely a different song.
Yeah,
you know, same lyrics, just different vibe.
Yeah,
yeah. You know, the Coast to Coast Drinking Friends, they paid for the record.
Yeah.
So, and that's the best thing that I could even ask for. It's like, you know, I paid to record it, and then they reimbursed me. It was like a Kickstarter they didn't even know they were they didn't even know they were involved in. But you know, they recouped the record. So now whatever it does, it does. I really don't care. You know?
I thought that was interesting how you did it, because when you first put your record out, you could only get it from you, right? You could not stream it, you could not listen to it anywhere. You could only buy it from you, like the old days, like a CD,
right?
$15.
I actually, at the beginning, it was 25.
Yeah.
Because I told them, I was like, I know this is expensive. I said, but remember, it's like how many tens of thousands of dollars it costs to make a record, and you spend, you know, I didn't say this, but it's like you'll spend $7 on a cup of coffee that you're not even going to remember tomorrow. It's like, but, you know, a song like, you know, Ghosts of New Orleans, or Nothing's Wrong with a Boat, or Florida Man, or Life Changing. It's like, you can listen to this over and over and over, and yeah, it's $2 a song rather than $1.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And they rallied, they responded, and I sold, you know, enough to pay off the debt of recording it.
That's great.
Plus some.
And now it's out there on streaming, and you can make, you know.
Now it's streaming, because I made a deal with them. I said, you guys, if you help me get my costs back, then I'll put it on streaming.
Well, that is great, Aaron. You're one of the smartest songwriter and artists that I know. So what does the future hold for you now? You got a new publishing deal?
New publishing
deal. Writing more songs? And
I'm writing more songs.
Continuing to travel? That's
right. So, you know, I made sure that the publisher knew the whole deal with, you know, the summer tour, and I might take off randomly at Halloween for, you know, a week to go to Florida to do Meeting of the Minds, you know. And they're cool with that. So I've been writing. These last few months, I signed in November, then it was the holidays, but the last few months I've just been kind of writing Nashville songs and thinking about my next record. Like I have a few titles, but I haven't really written anything for it. I'm trying to get this new deal off to a good start, you know, so turn in some bangers and then have them, you know, so when I leave for, you know, 3 months in the summer, they're like, he's gone, but he left us with these good songs, you know.
Yeah.
He'll be back in August.
That's great. Well, hope to see you out on the road, and looking forward to having you again at Lone Star Luau. People always love you there. So keep your eye out for Aaron Scherz on the road. His new record is called Life Changing. It's now streaming online. You can listen to that. Also, check out Ocean Road. That's my favorite project you've ever done. Yeah. It's brilliant.
I like that one better.
Brilliant. Yeah? It's really good. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Thom Shepherd. This is The Songwriters.